Greetings, all of you bike touring enthusiasts. It is I am back. It is a lovely, overcast fall day here in Delaware, late October. And what am I gonna do? Well, Wayward Son and I, can you see him? Wayward Son, yes, that's the name of my bike. We are here at Frawley Stadium. I've mentioned this before, the home of your Wilmington Blue Rocks. I'm not going to get into the Blue Rocks again, but anyway, over the next 5 days, we are going to ride the Great Delmarva Passage. Never heard of that? Yeah, there's a reason. Nobody calls it that. I don't know what people call this. I have always wanted to do this, so I'm incredibly excited. I am going to bike from here in Wilmington, Delaware, all the way to the very end of the Delmarva Peninsula. I'll share more details along the ride, but it's gonna be about 250 so miles. And I'm gonna break it up into 5 days. I'm gonna do it easy. I'm not gonna be camping this trip. I'm gonna be credit card touring all the way there. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Was that tunnel exciting? I bet it was.
Good morning.
Morning. Yeah, I just noticed that guy was wiping bugs out of his face. There's there's a bunch of gnats flying around. There's a little drizzle. I don't know if it's picking up or not. Oh, and I just ran over a snake. Wow, that was an action-packed little video clip there. Oh, it's so dark and foggy, the little street lamps are on. Ah, that was not bad. You know, earlier this year I was reading Benjamin Franklin's autobiography, and he started talking about catching a ship, getting a ship out of Newcastle. And I thought, you know, whatever. And then I realized this is Newcastle. So right here, this very spot, this was the wharf. Benjamin Franklin may have walked this very spot and caught a boat to England or France or wherever. Pretty cool. This is the, well, I guess it's where the Delaware River meets the Delaware Bay and goes out to the Atlantic. That street is named after the great Pennsylvanian George Siani, philanthropist, manufacturing expert, all around incredibly nice guy. Look him up. You're not, well, look him up. Why not? You know, someone asked me recently, what do you do when things are not very scenic? And my answer is I provide more details on my ride. So, as I said earlier, I have always wanted to do this trip. When I first moved here, 18 years ago, I looked at this peninsula and I thought, this is incredibly cool. That would make a great ride. Wow, are you picking up these bugs? I just flew through like a swarm. Anyway, some facts. The Delmarva Peninsula, I believe it is one of the largest, if not the largest peninsula in the United States. It was constructed in the year 35 million BC when a meteor impacted the area. And it turned what they think a very peaceful little river valley into a bay. It flooded a bay. I don't know, wasn't here, but that's what they say. The name, again, I was not on the board of people naming it. It comes from the three states that occupy it. Del for Delaware, Mar for Maryland, and V for Virginia. So that leads a question right now. They should have been called the Delmarva Peninsula, but nobody's asking me. I don't know exactly how long it is. My trip is going to be about 250 miles, but I'm also going along the coastline, not the most direct route. So those are the details. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that. Lunch break. La Matacina. All right, the Reedy Point Bridge. It's the only elevation on this whole ride. It goes up over the Delaware Canal. Delaware Canal? Delaware, I think it's called the D&C Canal. It connects Delaware City with Chesapeake City, which is about, I don't know, 14 miles? Somewhere around there. And the canal was built back in the early 1800s to connect the Delaware River with Chesapeake Bay. It's built in the, yeah, I can't remember. Here's my second Benjamin Franklin reference of the day. He was one of the first advocates for building this because it cut like 400 plus miles off of the sea journey and connected Philadelphia with Baltimore and DC. So that's pretty cool. Hey, look at this boat. I'm not totally sure, but I think that is the Kalmar Nyckel. This is called the Augustine Wildlife Area. Beautiful. Silver Run Road. I'm always a little nervous about this area because when there's good rains, this is underwater. Jeez. These gnats suck. To wipe the camera off. This is turning into a Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Extra credit if you even remember that. I have run over not one, not two, but 3 snakes on this ride. And I have consumed on the order of 200-300 gnats. Passed by this if you notice, there's no coastline anywhere around. Oh man, look at these gnats. This is incredible. It's like a snowstorm of gnats. I'm sorry, I'm complaining way too much. I'm having a great day. It's just these gnats. Ugh, I got like 4 in my mouth right now. Gross. Firebase Lloyd. I love it. That tank is awesome. We've now passed into the Cedar Swamp area. Keyword all the way down here, swamp. I never put 2 and 2 together with swamps and gnats. Now I have. So I was just sitting here like pondering how beautiful it is and how peaceful and contemplative, and all of a sudden in the woods a shotgun just went off. I nearly jumped out of my skin. It's hunting season. And anyway, that was pretty funny. I wish I would have had the camera going. There's a light drizzle right now. Supposed to be no rain today. All right, that's Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge. Off to the left. I think the entire left side of the state between 9. Very, very few homes and properties. I think it's all protected land. All right, I don't know if the camera's doing this justice, but you can't even look up. Oh, I just went through like, we're talking Millennium Falcon kind of swarm. You know what I'm talking about, Millennium Falcon? Wow. Hey, Miles.
Sup?
Quiet night last night in Dover. Easy going. I think every Tuesday night in Dover is probably a quiet night. Anyway, weather report last night was for a sunny day in the mid-70s. I woke up to a dense fog alert, 55 degrees. So I decided to grab another cup of coffee this morning and just wait it out and see if the fog would lift. And it has a little bit, but unlike yesterday where I was on very low traffic streets, today is going to be more traffic, so have to be extra careful today. But we got like 60 miles to Bethany Beach, and we'll see how the path goes. I got two ways to get there. One will be through the beach in Rehoboth, or I'll take the back roads, and we'll see. Haven't made up my mind yet. I love this little town. Magnolia. Isn't that a beautiful town name? Magnolia, Delaware. And yes, they have a water tower. Oh, speak of which, there it is, peeking through the trees up there. All right, I had to turn around and capture this sign because I think there's truth to it. This little area here is called Little Heaven. Drizzle. Rain. Water tower back there. Sorry, I didn't take a picture when I went by. never know where I'm supposed to go here. There's a sidewalk, but the Mississippi River. To get those numbers up. Yeah, I'm stopping. All right, hey, just stopped, have a beer at one of my favorite breweries. Pulled up, gentleman sitting there, said, hey, I saw you pull up on your bike. Where are you going? Ended up striking on a conversation. This guy, Chip, rode across the country, swapped stories. What a hell of a nice guy. You know, it's funny, of all my things that I enjoy about bike riding and touring and packing, whatever, it's the people you meet. You know, here we are, all living on this piece of rock, all trying to figure stuff out. And you know, you meet someone like this guy, Chip, offers some of the best advice, wisdom. Why? Because this guy's been through life. He's on this rock too. He's trying to figure stuff out. How awesome. Thank you, Chip. You're a good man. Thank you for the beer. Great conversation. All right, I'm on the Lewis-Georgetown Highway. I think I was on this road a long time ago. Anyway, I mentioned different routes to go today, and I'm not using either one. I took some advice from Chip. I'm going to take the Lewis-Georgetown Highway, and then I'm just going to take it over to 1 and be super careful and take one on down to Bethany through Rehoboth and Dewey, and you just got to be careful, that's all. I know a lot of people are discouraged from riding south in Delaware when they have to be on Highway 1, but when you get to Rehoboth, one thing to remember is there's lots of back roads to the side that keep you out of all that major traffic. I mean, eventually, yeah, you got to get on the highway, but so far this has been like relatively easy. I didn't end up going onto the rail trail because first of all, there were a ton of gnats again, and secondly, just, you know, it rained today and there's a lot of mud. I didn't feel like getting all muddy. Sorry. So I'm in Rehoboth. I got another, I don't know, 10-15 miles to get to Bethany for the end of the day. So great ride. All right, like I said, sooner or later you got to get on one. So stay in the bike and bus lane. I just passed through fake Bethany. I thought I was there. My legs were, yeah! And then I turned the corner and saw this. Highway 1 is long. All right, good morning. Day 3. I'm just getting ready to leave beautiful Bethany Beach here, and you know, I've said before, the definition of a good adventure, at least, is you really don't know what to expect. And today's one of those days. I know the first part's going to be busy roads, trying to get through Ocean City, Maryland, which is, I don't know, this time of year might not be huge traffic, but you know, it's a busy road. I've driven on it before. But then after I get through there, I'm gonna head south, and I'm gonna go out into an area that I've been there once, but I ran a marathon down here years ago, and it went out into Chesapeake State Park, which is a barrier island that heads south and crosses over into Virginia, where it becomes, if I'm right here, Chincoteague Wildlife Refuge, and then it goes on to Chincoteague Island, where I'm going to stay tonight. But I don't know what to expect on this path. If you look at Google, it almost looks like it has you just riding on the beach. So I don't know. I'm excited because that's what adventure is all about. So yeah, all right, gonna take off. Tailwind, baby. 18.8 miles an hour. Awesome. All right, there's one thing I enjoy more than water towers in this world. It is lighthouses. By the way, welcome to Maryland. I gotta pause here for a moment because I've traveled out to Sacramento quite a bit, and there's a sign on 50, US 50, that has Ocean City. So here's what's on the other side. Alright, this is Stephen Decatur Highway, which goes directly down to Chesapeake State Park. So all the busy roads are passed. I gotta say, a tailwind, I was pushing 20 miles an hour for a while. That was pretty awesome. That was the part I was most concerned about today. And it just flew by. Better slow down. Now I remember. A separate bike, hike, walk bridge. All right, there's Ocean City way out there. I don't know if you can see it or not. And then we're going over here and we're gonna keep going that way. Sorry, did I mention there's wild horses on this island? There's a sign back there that said keep 40 feet away because they kick, bite, and you know, do all sorts of other wild horse things. So I don't know what to think about this. All right, I'm keeping my 40 feet. Oh, more over here. How you doing?
I'm a little confused. The sign back there said no bicycles on the beach. So, I don't know, am I on the beach? All right. I had to turn off the camera to utter some words that could not be on film. Google shows you just going down here. Google is wrong. Can't ride on the beach, and there is no path. If you Google it, it shows it. I have to go back out of the park and all the way around the bay to get where I need to be. Google, why would you do this? Why would you do this? Why? All right, I've been kind of quiet for about 5 miles. See way over there? I gotta go out of the park. I gotta backtrack. I think a total of about 15 miles. I think I gotta go out around the bay to make my way down to where I need to be tonight. So it looks like my 52-mile day is gonna be about an 80-mile day. Look, I love cycling, and this is beautiful. So, I'm not going to complain. I just Google. No, man, no. And I'll tell you something else. You people on TripAdvisor that wrote about how you biked this, shame on you. Shame on you. Once again, Ocean City. Except, I'm not going down there. I'm not. I'm going this way. Alright, I'm officially done backtracking. So, it took me 20 miles out of my way. I know what you're yelling. Don't follow Google. I know. I'm yelling at myself. And the next mile, I'm going to get over it. And I'm going to enjoy the remaining 50 miles I have today. Oh my goodness. All right, I just stopped to get my bearings. By the way, it's beautiful out. I mean, it's just beautiful country. But look, it is what it is. It's gonna be about 87 miles today. I've got 30, around 30 left. And I'm getting a little nervous about the sun. We're in fall. Days are getting short. So the video might be a little abbreviated because I think I'm just gonna put my head down and start hammering. Look, I said it when I left this morning.
I'm excited because that's what adventure's all about.
Adventure is not about knowing everything you're gonna do and how it's gonna turn out. Adventure's, well, often the opposite. So, all right, get to it. Tree. There's a name for you. Oh, still in Maryland. All right, Girdle Tree, Maryland. This is the town of Gunby. Not Gumby, Gunby. All right, no signs, no welcoming committee, but the road just changed name for no particular reason, so I believe we are in the great state of Virginia right now. That sign said Horntown. Well, that's good news. I don't know if you heard that or not. We're making progress now. Chincoteague All right, hey, good morning. It's a new day out. Pretty windy. I'm just looking out the window here at the palm trees blowing in the wind. Hey, before I take off, I thought I would share a little quick note on yesterday and kind of put a bow on that. You know, it's hit me that, look, anybody can ride when it's sunny and 72 and it's downhill and your bike's perfect and everything's great. But what do you do on those days where it's raining and you got to go uphill and you get lost, or Google takes you in a place that you didn't know you were going to go? I used to run a lot of marathons, and for those of you that run a marathon, you know there's a certain point sometimes where your body starts saying, what are you doing? You know, like around mile 20, 22, something like that. You got a half hour, 45 minutes to go, and you know your body's screaming. And you know what I've done a lot of times is I start talking back to myself, and I'm like, you know, Bryan, you're not gonna stop. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna stop? You're not gonna stop. You're gonna keep going, and in a half an hour and 45 minutes, you're gonna be at the finish line. You're gonna feel fantastic, and you know you're not going to be thinking about what you're doing now. You're not going to be thinking about the discomfort. You're going to be, you know, you're going to be enjoying life. So keep going. Now, I know that sounds silly, but I think what's funny is just like yesterday. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That last 25, 30 miles was hard. And I just kind of had to put my head down and keep going. And I went through that little mental exercise, and next thing I know, all right, I'm down to 20 miles, and then 15 miles, and 10 miles, and 5 miles. And doesn't mean that like the miles disappear. It doesn't mean that you don't have to do the effort. It's just your body somehow figures it out. Like, you're not going to stop. You're going to keep going. I don't know. Makes sense? If you got other ways you get through tough times, I'd obviously be interested in hearing. But okay, today I'm going to a town called Exmore in Virginia, and I got a couple different route options. One is just to take the most boring route option, which is to go down the main highway. If you look at a map of the peninsula, when you start getting further south, it all converges, and there's like one road that I'm going to end up on tomorrow. It's the only road after a while. So today I've got some options to do some back roads, and so I'm going to try to stay off the main beaten path. It's going to add a little extra time, but what the heck? Again, super windy today, 25, 30 mile an hour winds. Fortunately, they are from the northeast, so once I get out of here, I'm going to be riding into the wind for probably an hour, but then the next 2 to 3, potentially, it's going to be about a tailwind, so that'll be awesome. So anyway, time to get going. A little taste of tailwind. I'm doing 22 miles an hour right now. Today might be a fast day. Alright, I'm glad. Tailwind's awesome, a 25 mile an hour crosswind on a road with no bike lane. Go through a lot of little towns today. This is the town of Atlantic. try pronouncing the name of this town. Mapsville. Oh my gosh, is it beautiful. Bethel Baptist Church. Does this mean I'm in Bethel? Probably not. There's a lot of Bethel Baptist Church. Bloxham. That's where I'm at. Look at this. Wow. Okay, so if you don't know where you are, you just look up there. Oh, I can't even see it. Water tower, Parksley. Parksley, don't you know? All right, this is just too cool of a little town to not pull off and ride around. Don't blink, that was Tasley. And that sign says Exmore is 14 miles. Rock on. All right, welcome to Only. Watch a prig. Watch a prig. Oh, I don't know what's going on. That says watch a prig. This says Keller. We're in one of two places. Perhaps we're in a quantum realm, where we're in both places at the same time. There you go, Virginia Beach. I think think that's the first time I've seen directions for mileage for that. That's pretty cool. It's sort of nice. Took me off 13 for just a little bit. Welcome to Exmore. We have arrived. That's Better Call Saul right there. I forgot where I was staying. All of these little hotel chains are they're blurring together. Alright, for anyone who wants to know what a strong tailwind does, that took an hour off of my ride today. An hour. 50 miles. I did 1 hour faster than what I was expecting. I've had people tell me that tailwinds don't make any difference. Well, and headwinds. Oh, they don't make any difference. Guess what? They make a big difference. How the heck am I supposed to get over here? I guess I'm gonna cut it. Good morning. Excuse the noise. I got something going on. I can't tell what it was. I thought it was a loose spoke, so I tightened them up. Still got this little clicking noise. Oh well. Anyway. Hey, yesterday I lied. I didn't lie. I said there was only one way to get down to the bridge tunnel on 13. Not true. There's Highway 600. It is a back road for sure. No bike lane. Country road. But so far, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm gonna see if I can't take that all the way down, because it looks like it goes all the way to the end. So let's go. All right, I think this is Northampton. Not totally sure. Morning, dog. I tell you what, other than that dog, I haven't seen anybody this morning. It is quiet. It's Saturday, so, you know, okay. It's a little chilly today. It's like just above 50 maybe. But nobody, there's a car, there's somebody going someplace. All right. Take back what I said. Cotton. Wow. Cotton field. deal. Give this guy the right away. All right, just take that in. If that doesn't make you want to get on your bike, then take your pulse. Wow. The open road. Chariton, Virginia. I've been seeing a lot of bike markings on these roads down here. This must be a popular ride. I saw signs for a century, metric century. Have to look that one up. I'm a waver, so people are sitting on the front porch. If people are sitting out, I wave. So I just waved at the Halloween decoration of a witch. She did not wave back. I just broke up a roadside. Oh, that was gross. Roadside buffet. All right, all you vultures. Alright, we're getting close because when I look to the left, sometimes peeking through the trees, I can see the coastline. And when I look to my right, I can see Highway 13. So it's starting to narrow and wow, we're gonna be there soon. Another day that's gone by too fast. Okay, this road looks like it's been raining or wet, but it's not. It's just kind of a shiny tarmac here. All right, question of the ride. It's a vulnerable question, and it's one that I don't know if I'm gonna put this in or not. I wonder, for those of you that bike tour, do you ever get overwhelmed with emotion? And what I mean is, you know, I don't know, it's peaceful and quiet and beautiful. And there's often times before I even know it, I've got tears welling up in my eyes. And I think, like to think it's because I'm just thankful. I don't know, anybody else feel that way? If it's just me, I'll get some help. I'd like to know if other people go through that. There you go. I'm 50-50 whether I'm going to leave this in. Alright, we going the right way? Yes. We're going to cut through the refuge area. All right, a little bit of unexpected history here. This just popped up out of nowhere. I'm just going down the trail. This is the Winslow Battery. Look at the size of that gun. This was a fort here during World War II that guarded the East Coast. And that thing could fire that 25 miles. I'd say that provided some protection on the coast. All right, I've been Googled again. That sign right there says this is closed. I gotta backtrack somehow. I guess I get out on the highway. I don't know if I can get through here or not. That trail is closed, which really sucks. All right, I just talked to a really nice police officer. He's going to see if he'll let me ride down to the observation point on the road here. You're not supposed to, but he's a nice guy. We'll see what he says. All right, well, unfortunately, nice officer, but vehicular traffic only. I told him, come on, man, 250 miles, and I just want to go another mile. All right, he did tell me that there is a state park a little bit up the road, and they have a pier, and I might be able to get some pictures from there. So this right here is the official end of this trip. I have made it as far to the point as I can go. So, woohoo! All right, here we go. Chincoteague State Park. That's a fun word to say. Okay, new life goal. I want to become a crawl space expert. Okay, take two. Let's pretend that this is the end.
Well, I've often felt that the sign of a good ride is that you just don't want it to end. I paused to take in the bridge and the distance, but my legs weren't quite done. I began riding up the western coastline, not quite ready to admit that my journey had come to an end. On the map, I saw the town of Cape Charles, another 10 miles up the highway. You see, my son had agreed to drive 4 hours to come pick me up, so I texted him the location of the Cape Charles brewery and, well, just kept riding. I'd like to think that bike touring has made me a more thankful person. Little things like a hot shower, friendly conversation, a beautiful view, all things that make me stop and smile. Adventures like this are a gift full of life lessons that offer to make us better people. We've got places to go on this rock flying through space, and sometimes we get there directly. Other times we encounter bad directions, and it takes more effort than we counted on. Sometimes we have the good fortune of tailwinds, and other times we simply have to put our head down and press forward even when our bodies say no. Along the way, we meet wonderful people, see beautiful places, And every so often we look in the mirror and we see this person, a changed person, altered by experience and circumstance, grounded in lasting memories of when we found our way over a few hundred miles. Until next time, friends, best wishes and happy pedaling.